Next up, we have a presentation on the ELM web application, and Corel, I believe, presenting this one. Thank you.
Ms. Sundars with her staff have been working on this for a couple of months now. As you know, the Enterprise Land Management, or ELM system, is a very comprehensive site and system, and with lots of information within it, and can be rather daunting to the first-time user. So Ms. Sundar and her team have been looking at how they could make it a bit more user-friendly and to make it easier for people to dive in and get the information they need and want from this site. So I'm going to turn it over to Corel to walk you through a demonstration of it.
Thank you, Mr. Gillies. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and the members of the commission. I'm Sundar, Information Manager from Planning Department, and with me is Greg McIntyre, who will be presenting this presentation on the upgraded version of the Chevron page and our ELM online portal, which is, we gave a wrapper up for the ACA page. But first, I would like to thank our IST staff here, Bobby Cox and his team, Scott Garner, and Trip is not here, and Trip and his staff, Jalpan, who are the integral part in developing this application. And they integrated this, our existing Chevron page, to ELM and Civic Clerk so that it can be automatically updated. And this data that we are showing you gets updated every day at 8 a.m., every weekdays at 8 a.m. So it is kind of a live data. So to see the Chevron app, it is on our planning department, webpage. And if you see, basically I will be walking through this presentation, and if you have any questions in the middle or go over or forward, please. So this one is the active development cases. Clicking on this launches the app. So this is the new app that was developed maybe a couple of months back. And so this gives you the map of all the cases that are pending, plus that had been approved in the last approved or final action, whether it was denied or anything, in the last 3 months. So it is a combination so that those customers who would like to see, hey, what happened last month, will be helpful to get that information. And on the map, there are multiple dots, and this is for all the cases that planning department works on. So if you see here, each dot represents the case type. For example, pink is zoning, yellow is site plan, blue is subdivision, and vice versa, variance and all those things. So each and every dot represents the location of the actual case that is here. On the right, it is the list of all the cases that are on the map that is being listed with the basic information. So you have the case number, you have the name, a brief description, and which district it is in, what type of a case, whether it is a zoning or a site plan major or subdivision, and the sign number, and what the final action is. It's the current status of that case. The date, it is ordered by the update of the status, which was recently updated, what happened yesterday. So it's on the descending chronological order. So okay, and then here, this search bar, you can search by the sign number that we see, and by the case number, and even by the case name. Like for example, if you type in Astoria, it's going to list you all the cases that are on the Astoria, including the subdivision and also the zoning cases. And the same way, if you type in, and to clear just the X, type in the sign number that we see, 1222, it's going to give you the case of where I'm going to zoom into the location where it is located. So this app helps, this search bar helps on those ones. And we also have additional filters where you can also filter by the case types. Say if we are interested by site plan or subdivision, say we are interested in zoning, you can just select zoning and it's going to show you all the zoning cases that we have been working on. And once again, if you want to narrow it down even more, say our chairman is interested in this district, so click on Midlothian and it is going to show only the cases that are in Midlothian. Again, this is all that are in pending and also that had been approved in the last 3 months. So this one is kind of a little catch-all kind of a filter. It has the pending cases. If you want to see only the pending cases, okay, I'm not worried anymore about the final ones, the list of pending cases. And also we have some meetings, not some meetings, our meetings. So we have also listed the community meeting list. So if you are interested in, okay, what's happening, which community meeting is on the 5th of December, if you click on it, it's going to show which community meeting, which case that is. And the same way, we have few more. This is by the board agenda, the dates for the board, for zoning appeals, and also for our commission. Say if you select today's date and it close, it's going to, sorry, there was another filter. It's going to list all the cases that we are going to hear today. So this is for the Planning Commission. Yes, sir.
So, and if you're going to go here, just tell me and we can wait. But, so if I click on one of the dots, it's going to bring up the zoning case, which is attached to a parcel. Does this connect into GIS where we can then get parcel information, current owners, and, you know, drive through does it streamline through back into GIS?
So this does not stream, that is on the next phase. We are trying to, but we have created a map, pending case map over here, which will help, but this will only connect to our ELM system. So over there, we can see all the other information, but it is not going into the GIS system.
It would list, though, what all the property owners are that were associated with that zoning case, with that application. So it would list all those IDs so you could see that, what parcels were involved with that zoning case.
Correct. ELM has most of the GIS data.
And again, on the filters, there is also another filter where you can, by the case status. So it's not only by the meeting dates, it is based on all the Chevron statuses, is what it is listed here. Say if you're interested in all the community meetings, the upcoming community meetings, click on the community meetings and it's going to list. It's going to list all the upcoming community meetings along with that information.
So when you say community meeting, is those like the client community meetings
Yeah.
previous? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, great.
The zoning case, the client community meetings.
All right,
That's
thanks.
And for us, I'm going to clear this and for our purposes over here, I'm just going to select all the pending cases, show only the pending cases, close, and say only the zoning cases. So again, if you are also interested in, if you see, it's going to list all the pending cases that are here. And when you hover over the case here, it's going to also give you the information on the highlight the dot, like where it is located. So this Stevenson is over here and this one. So it's going to show you the location of each and every case that is listed over here. At the same time, if you click on the dot, it's going to pop up the case and it is going to take you to the page, to the detailed case page, Chevron page, where you have more information plus the status of where it is. Like there's going to be a technical review committee on this case. That's going to happen on the 18th, or had happened on the 18th. So that is the one. And again, the same thing, if you have no idea, like we were driving and we saw the sign posting and we don't know what case number, and I just know the location, we can also zoom in using the plus and minus button on the map and then zoom to the area and select, oh, this is the one that I was looking, select on it and then click, and it's going to say, oh yeah, there's a community meeting that's going to happen on the December. So it, and of course, you can also see all the other information over there.
Right.
So this is with that, and say if you are interested in one of the planning cases, one of our case, say 23 SN 0041. It's going to take you to the North Owsley case, and we know there is a BOS hearing that is scheduled, and it is going to give you the Planning Commission on the next hearing date. The documents are the documents that are published in Civic Clerk. So these documents will be available in this only when it is being published. So we haven't yet published for the documents for the December board. So once it is published, it will start showing up here. And say if you are interested in the community, another case which didn't have a public meeting, and you wanted to know more information about it, this is the link to the ELM case record. And this link is going to take you to the ELM page, and there you can navigate to all our other information.
So essentially, this, what she has just described is kind of a good overview, summary of getting basic information on the site. When you're ready to dig in deeper into what's involved in the site and more specific information, you go here, and then you can pull up more information directly within ELM. I think that's what Greg's going to go through in a minute.
And the other one, you can, as you all know, we can also search, if you know the case number, you can also search directly on our, that's another option, on our web page search bar. And it is going to list the case, click on the planning cases, it's going to give you the case, and it is going to take you to this Chevron page to give you little more information on that case. And to get more information, we can click on this to go into ELM. That will be presented by Greg and also the ACA page. Any questions on this app before going into ELM?
Mr. Hilton?
So, first, I just want to say thank you for everything your department does, to make sure that citizens have the information that we need, and also making sure that we have what we need. And you all have helped us out a lot with our computers and everything. So I think, we need to say thank you to you, because you all are behind the scenes making it happen, and we don't get to say thank you a lot. I probably only see you maybe once a year when the computer needs to be updated or something, but I just wanted to publicly say that. A bit of feedback. The other day I was kind of looking at the website, and I was looking up some old cases such as Courthouse Landing and that sort of thing. When cases have a different name, and I was just talking to one of my fellow commissioners about it, it's really hard to find the actual case based on maybe a name that the case is under versus, and Courthouse Landing is an example of it. If I went in, I kind of researched Courthouse Landing, I think that it had a weird name that it might have been filed under, but and
2911 Chesterfield LLC.
yeah.
Was the name of it at one point.
And so you wouldn't really know that, right? If you're a citizen, it would be good if we could have a tie to an alias that is more publicly known. And I guess the case manager maybe could help delineate those cases where there are some aliases out there publicly where, through a search, you really couldn't find it. But that was one in particular that I was looking for last week. And I know Harold is here, and he worked that case. He did a fabulous job with it. And so just a bit of feedback to maybe determine what the aliases are and then tie that to the search results so then it pops up easier for citizens.
No, Dr. Hilton, you're absolutely right. And if you notice the cases we have tonight, there's aliases in there with their common names. We didn't used to do that. And so we've made that change, I think, relatively recently, where we've put the names like the Hampton, Meadows Townhouse or whatever it is in there as the name rather than it's, something LLC. So that is something we're doing more in the public notices. But the old cases, have the old applicants in it. We might be able to go back and try to fix some of those retroactively for what their common name is now.
Right. Yeah. And I just point that out as just us being transparent, with communication. But you guys have done a fabulous job with this new initiative that you're doing, and I look forward to the finishing product.
One of the things I do sometimes if I'm looking back to older cases, going to the map section and then looking at case map and see what the number of that particular project was, and it might be 16 SN 0123, and then you can take it and research that number and get, I think, to the same point that you're talking about. So there are a few ways to skin a cat, so to speak, to get some of those older cases, but trying to cross-reference it with the more obvious name when there is an obvious name would be something we'll look into.
Yeah.
So I would like to add on to Commissioner Hilton's, all of his comments actually, starting with just the appreciation for all the work that's been done. I know when I first started using the website in 19, it was a good website, but then when COVID hit, you guys, you really knocked it out of the park, and it's just been improving more and more. So I thank you. The website is fantastic. It really is. But like any website, it's going to be getting constant improvements. To Commissioner Hilton's point about Courthouse Landing, it's actually something I debated bringing up, and I'm sure you're working on this, but if you search for Courthouse Landing like you did the case number up in the generic search bar, I think it actually does come up. I think it's one of the 24 results, but the search result page only lists the meta title, which right now is the exact same meta title for every single Chevron page. It doesn't actually list the case name or the case number. If that can be added to the metadata, I think the problem is solved even without staff having to go back and add all the alias case names. So when you click on that and scroll down, you'll see, I think it is one of those.
Yes.
We just can't tell which one.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
we are working on with IST to, it's already been communicated. Because the integration just happened kind of close recently, we are working on that to get the case number and the case name.
Perfect. And I assumed you were.
I was trying to escape from that, but thank you.
Because I don't think it was active last week or the week before when I searched. So, I'll happily search this way to see if it pops up.
Actually, yeah, it will pop up all the preliminaries and all the cases that are part of this project.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is a huge step, and I know you're going to keep enhancing it, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Commissioner Sloan.
Yeah, I just want to throw my 2 cents worth on, and I guess I've been here long enough. I was actually here pre-Andy, and I think to get into the website, we use like AOL dial-up, the thing. And I just, so my perspective is actually when we really didn't have a functioning website. And for individuals to get information on cases, they were calling into the department. And for planning commissioners and board members to get information and updates on cases, we were meeting with staff all the time. So using that as a starting point in relatively a short amount of time, right? You guys have done a tremendous job. And one of the things that I think for all of us sitting up here, and I know, board members feel as well, where we have taken zoning and the zoning process from a transparency standpoint for citizens. Again, to something where if a citizen wanted to find out something, they almost had to FOIA, information, to what access, anybody has today on details that it was just really hard to get before. Really, really an impressive job. So, congratulations and, keep it going, and so, yeah, good stuff.
Actually, I want to add to that as well, because when we first came on in or at least 3 of us first came on in 2020, we were giving county laptops or tablets to be able to access a lot of this information, to be able to look up our casework. And within about 2 years of having those laptops, because you've put all that information out there publicly available on the web, I gave mine back to Michael. I don't need the county device anymore because 100% of what I need to do my job is available on this website that everybody else also has access to. So it's been transformative what your team has been able to do with making all of this information publicly available.
You're only half done. You still have Greg.
Yeah, and I will defer to Greg.
Well, we wanted to give Krill all the props.
Halfway through.
Thank you, Mrs. Sundar, and good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. So I'm going to pick up right where Corel left off, and and the first thing is if you need to actually see the case itself in our ELM website, all you have to do is come up here and click the View the ELM Case Record, and this will actually show up on the record detail page. And this will show what case type it is, the record status it currently is in, the location, the basic information with the applicant and any other contacts there. Thank you.
Kind of move that closer to where you're speaking.
Associated with, and you can even click the more details and click the parcel information, and you'll see the subdivision and parcel ID. Thank you. And any of the application information that the applicant has submitted. You can even see any of the conditions that are associated with the case. And if you come to the record information dropdown, you can even come down to the attachments. And this is where you'll see all of the uploaded attachments either by the applicant or contacts or even by staff themselves.
I think that's one of the steps that some of the citizens don't know where to go and take that step so they can see where the attachments are. And we're trying to make that an easier find for the citizens to get the actual submittal for the case.
So you'll see all the document name is highlighted in green. Those are the hyperlinks, so you can easily click on it and it will automatically download it to your computer and you can open it right up. And if you want to search, organize it, you can even come up to each column and just click on it once. It will sort it from earliest to latest for dates uploaded. You can do it again to be the latest to earliest. You can even sort by the project name or the document name, so alphabetical order. So you can click on each column to sort that way in order to find what you're looking for, especially if you have 10 pages worth of documents and you know it's closer towards the end, you don't have to click on page 10 to get to it. And going back, so that's pretty much how you can navigate to get to the attachments through the specific record detail page. The other step you can do if you're back on our county website and you just don't, if you want to go straight to our ELM site instead of going through the Chevron, you just have to scroll over our business dropdown and click on the Enterprise Land Management portal. And then you can click on the Apply Online, and this will take you straight to the ELM website. And then this will go straight into showing you guys our brand new public-facing ELM design for citizens. So our old design was completely non-user-friendly and citizens can't navigate, so we have made it a complete 180 with users being able to navigate. We have our search bar up here, so you can even come in here and if you just know the project name, let's say one of our favorites, Magnolia Green, and hit enter. This will list all records within ELM that are associated with the Magnolia Green. And you can even come to where the dropdown is all records. You can even filter it out. So you can say, I want to look at all planning records. And then it will sort it out this way. And then you can even come up to the columns, let's say date, click on the date, and it will sort it. So you want to see the most recent one. So here's November 5th zoning case. This is the most recent one associated to the Magnolia Green area. You can even come to our planning dropdown and do search records. And here, this is our basic search filter. So if you don't know the record number, but you know it is a site plan major, you can hit site plan major. You can update, do a date range, So we'll do. Beginning of this year to right now and hit search. And this will show all of the site plan majors records that have been either submitted or in the process of being submitted for this entire year. And you can even see the current status, the project name, and any actions that are associated with it.
Mr. Sloan?
Thanks. So if you go back a screen, to where you,
Did the general search.
yeah. Any thoughts, so, any thoughts, like where it says record number, record type, putting, the little infamous question mark that someone can click on it, that defines what a record number is, because in some places we're using the phrase zoning case number, record number. Somebody may not understand that the record number is actually, the case number. And then like a little question mark for record type that gives just a very brief explanation as to what the different record types are. Just, if people are going to try and search by those, just having a little bit more of a common understanding as to what that terminology is.
Yes.
Cool.
We can definitely look into that. And would be just like similar to our applications. We actually do have question marks throughout the applications to explain the different fields and what we're looking for to fill out that field.
It may help certain planning commissioners.
Yeah, we had to go with record number because this system is between all the departments. So that's the reason we all came up. We always, ours is case number, but because it's for the multiple CD divisions system, we have to compromise on that. But that's a good suggestion, we can do that.
And speaking about selfishly helping the planning commission, maybe a filter for magisterial district as well.
That's good. And then also, if you do happen to know the project number, you can easily just type it into the search function as well and hit enter. And this will take you directly to that record detail page that I showed earlier, where you can navigate through each one to see the specifics on that one application. And you also receive a weekly active zoning case report from Kelly Hare. You can also get to the ELM portal by clicking on the record ID hyperlinks as well. So if I just click on this one, and it will take you straight to that record detail page as well. And then going back to our new ELM design. So like I said, we have all of our 5 departments within our community development in our header. We do have our 6 buttons, so they can submit an application showing and have a drop down for each individual department. They can go into their My Records in order to see their current applications that they have already applied for or currently in the process, so they can resume the application or even pay the fees. Citizens can even submit a concern. So this will be the submit a concern application. They can view any of the reports we have posted publicly. We have how to, a button so we can show them the user guides for the citizen portal, how-to videos that we have created, any frequently asked questions, our new attachment upload process, how to register for an account if they're the first time using this. They can even look up property info, so they can go to the parcel viewer map, and this will open up in a separate tab. And then they can navigate to find the specific parcel that they're looking for in order to apply for an application. And then if we scroll down, we have the county address, the social media links for our Chesterfield County, and helpful links. We have our 5 departments that will go straight to their own department page on the website. And then we also have the need assistance, which are the helpful links down at the bottom as well. So we want to make sure that we're giving the citizens as much help as we can. But overall, that is the overall updates to our ELM citizen portal.
Thank you, Greg. Commissioners have any questions on the ELM piece? We'll echo everything we said earlier in our thanks and appreciation.
Thank you.
I was just curious, from y'all's perspective, I know when ELM was first kind of released, some of the citizens were kind of overwhelmed with how to use it and to manipulate and maneuver the site. Have you heard frustration? More people seem to be more comfortable with it now. Are you getting citizens contact with you and in reference to what works or doesn't work within ELM? I'm just curious if you're getting any of that feedback from citizens. Every once in a while we'll get a comment, but there actually have gotten pretty few and far between from a staff perspective. That's why I'm kind of asking you all if there's certain things you've heard or think we need to kind of keep consideration on what to fix in the future.
Sure, I appreciate that. I mean, I'll speak for myself. I feel like the citizens that I communicate with, the first half of the presentation is what they find valuable. That's what they
Right.
need to navigate, and I think that is 99% of what they need.
Right.
The people that I know who would leverage ELM are the people in the trade, so they are much more versed in knowing what they're looking for, how to get it. But I don't know that ELM is necessarily used by the general public,
Right.
from my experience, because there's so much information just on the website that I think gets most people where they need to be.
Right, good. All right. Well, we'll keep plodding along, trying to make it better. It's an ongoing process, and I think Greg and Carell and IST have been great, kind of a working unit to try to make this improvement, make these improvements. So we'll continue to kind of keep working on it.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.